Hey guys, I am morning face here, but Diddy's going to be sentenced today. I think it will take them a bit of time to do so. I think there's a sense of thoroughness. Um, and I do think he'll get sentenced to a lengthier time. I do. But because I've done some readings off camera, and it's one of the reasons why I wanted to come on and bring that up. I've been really tired, so I've been resting and not up to filming until this morning. I feel much better. But allergies, everybody in town has them, so do pardon me. I did take my antihistamine. All right. So is Diddy, I'm going to try and keep this kind of quick and in a nutshell, shall we say. Is Diddy going to be just like yes, no, sentenced to a more lengthy term given the severity of his crimes, despite the fact that he's been someone that's been well known? We all know that there's different treatment for celebrities um, and your average day citizens. But they've been making a lot of bad moves, him and his uh, prosecutors. I mean, sorry, defendants. I haven't had a full cup of coffee yet. So I guess pestering the judge, doing, really, Diddy's really squirming. And he's trying to throw everything in the kitchen sink that he can concoct, and his brother helpers, his lawyers and PR can help him to create. So, what I want to see, give these a good shuffle. Is he going to be sentenced to a lengthier term and have to serve it? There's always going to be like time served and stuff to come out from whatever he gets. So, and I don't know what all these charges are right now, but let's just see what we get. I really hope that the judge uses really good sense, because he's not going to change. This man, I get the devil for him every time, and that always means that there's a really saturated amount of corruption in someone once they get that card. It's not just they're troubled, it's they're taken over by corruption. And that's what's motivating them. They've given that the power, the shadow the power in their life rather than the light within. So that's unfortunate when people do that. All right, let's see what we get. Well, I'm getting the Nine of Wands. I think it will be more lengthy. This is what, somebody, the bars, maybe with the significance to the number of nine. All right. But I always do too. And we have the Eight of Cups, the drugs, the sick fantasy life that he was forcing others and abusing his power to coerce into doing things that traumatize them. I think this means that because of not just the initial crimes of using, let's say, drugs and whatnot, but the crimes against basically humanity against others in what he was doing is so replete, meaning it's just so thoroughly and fully infested with darkness, a dark intent to humiliate for his own gratification. It's so debauched. I think he's looking at a lengthier time and sentence coming. A few more cards. The magician, that's the manipulation. Also, him using his career, producer, but manipulating other people. And this could be fairness, but also him not making a choice to stop what he was doing. That he made choices in his life. This is the card of coming to a crossroads, and with what you're manifesting and what you're doing, what you're instigating and causing to happen, what you're saying and doing, creating, also career. Maybe this is the looking at then what he was doing to people's careers, which is nothing. They didn't move. They were static. This is also the need for balance to be struck here because he's so out of reality. So when I look at the four cards together, that's what I get. So out of reality. These were, the first ones that give you the main message of him being out of reality and that he keeps using his power to to force and this mess and cause trauma to so many other people. And it's wrong, and he's not going to stop doing that. This has to be balanced, a balanced and fair decision because society is at risk. This is a reaction or something swift coming in. Usually, maybe this is a decision or news, or maybe his reaction. And I get the Six of Swords. This is positive movement toward healing. I think this could be the reaction of relief so that people can move on with their lives that he's traumatized. This will be that I would imagine that would be pretty important. And he'll want to fight this. He's still not content. He wants to be in, maybe to go to a better prison as well. I would think he's going to want to have better. I get the death card. Oh, and the end of his career, the end of independent wealth, an end to that whole lifestyle, that bougie lifestyle that he was living, and that debauched lifestyle that he was abusing his wealth for. Yeah, another card. This is a time for healing of his victims and survivors, and release of time for them to be able to release that trauma. And they're juggling being able to do this. I think the ups and downs, the trauma. Yeah, it's time for the energy now is time for these people to be healed and to be able to release that and put it behind them and not part of their everyday trauma that's right up here. It helps them to, I feel like, shift that trauma. That's imprisonment. And by your own limited ways of thinking as well, prison within a prison with him. And something he does not anticipate, there is the Tower. Let's get more on that. This is to do with agreements, relationships, contracts, money. So some agreement. Oh, he had already set up that he was going to go and do some kind of public speaking event. Well, that's not going to happen. I think that's what this would have been for. I think he's still going to be stuck. I don't see him getting out. I don't see like the door opening, uh, but rather that he's going to have a big shock to his system coming. Um, and we have a King of Pentacles and children, maybe using his children, talking to his children, or living in his past is highlighted. This is being kind of paranoid or watchful. Ah, and it's about family and money. That could be him telling his kids what to do. Something about like the legacy. He's ruined that legacy for those children. That's just terrible. I don't think he's going to uh, get out very quickly. I'm seeing that whatever they are capable of sentencing him, that would be a bit more lengthy. It looks like it looks like there's that option being taken. But let me just I like I like consistency. So let's just see if I can get another confirmation or not. Do I want to grab another deck? I just did this on the spontaneous, so I've kind of moved my decks. I don't know if I've got one near me that's, well, maybe Neptune Moon. That would be interesting to use. All right. So let's just straight up ask, is he going to be sentenced? Please, guides, help me to have clear cards like the Sun or the Ace of Swords, if it is going to be like a lengthy sentence. Something that would help me to understand if it's a lengthy sentence, that I would be given an image that speaks that again. And if it's not, show me something that's smaller. Oh, this is the Emperor. This is that the first thing I got was the sense of authority and firmness. And and family. And I'm feeling like the judge energy here, the law, the authorities, and looking at the family home, that it should be harmonious and a healthy place for your children. You shouldn't be living and doing things like what he was doing. It's endangering the welfare of your family, um, because you're so extreme and doing crazy things. When you do stuff like that, you're endangering your family, believe it or don't, because it can ruin. If they're dependent on you, you can ruin all your lives that way. Um, I get the Three of Wands looking into the future further. So that's a card of a more distance. And I see a Queen of Cups. This is empathy. And the women, I'm thinking of his survivors. I get the Ace of Pentacles and the Devil. I don't think for a moment that this man is going to get away with this at all. I do believe that he'll be very much given a response by the judge about how he's done this to himself and thrown his family and their home and the what should be and could have been a balanced, healthier place and caused people trauma, took advantage of people financially and using money, abusing his power, and that he needs to learn how to modify or be in a place where he cannot be extreme. And there is looking at the bigger picture here. And again, it's extending energy for for bringing this wild behavior under control. He's not going to do that outside of the bars. That's already showing up in the card. So I believe he is going to be held. I'm getting the King of Pentacles and the Ace of Swords. Um, a man that is speaking about, I think this is going to be him trying to portray himself as the family businessman, and that being like what that you what you were and what you say you are very contrasting things. And this is a love of control and controlling in relationships, turning on nice first and then becoming a control monster, and emotional, causing people, I think, emotional trauma. Yeah, there's the Sun. This is, he's going to have a wobbler, as they say, um, because he's not going to be given what he wants. There's a great deal of relief coming, but I think there's also for him, he's going to be like emotional about it. And there's a lot of people that are going to be emotional about it because this is like having what he did, being told. I think that the judge is going to think that it's very important to illustrate how far off he is from saying, from being what he says he is. That's exact opposite. And, he's not telling the truth. Um, and it's the end. There's the World. This is a completion card. And something that's been worked on very thoroughly. This is the Eight of Pentacles. So this looks to me like, and here's justice and there's celebration. I feel like that's celebration for women. And there's three women here, so I'm not thinking that's Diddy. This is probably Diddy being anxious and more than one person having trouble to rest. These people are worried. It is an end card for them and having to walk away. Family card and something new. And there's like children Another card, two children, family, and defending, protecting. So the energies there to me don't speak of letting him out with a slap. It's going to be whatever I think they can do within the law that would apply. It looks to me like it will be or should be a balanced decision at this point. It could change. That's one of the reasons the tarot is fluid. It goes by how things at this moment are going. If they continue, that's likely the outcome. So that's two readings that have shown he is not likely to just walk away and be able to go and do that speaking engagement that he set up. I'm going to try these Neptune cards. I don't know if they'll speak to the situation, but let's just try. Sometimes it's kind of fun to see if it'll pull through or not. A message that makes sense with different decks. Get some interesting results sometimes. So let's just see. I hope I'm loud enough. Is Diddy going to get a long sentence for what he did? And by that I mean a just long sentence because of the seriousness and the likelihood of slipping reoffending. He's at a crossroads. I've gotten that again. So this is a major crossroads in his life. It is a big, he's at that point. And we get guardian of nature or guardian of nurture, caring energy. I'm seeing the any energy of empathy. Reveal the hidden. And Saturn's discipline. Crafting your skills. No. So we're getting reveal the hidden, and we have Saturn, and it's a card of discipline, and it's going to reveal even perhaps, like I was saying, make a point to reveal why, the dust off any uncertainties, why, and be very clear about his why he's not going to be out. Cosmic upgrade. The energy is changing. Upgrade, not down. And his energy is not on a good vibe. He's not going to be able to continue that behavior anymore. He needs to be controlled in a controlled setting because he can't control himself. Not here, different dimensions. So yeah, he's going to be in the dimension of behind bars. Destruction. He talked about being a phoenix. Well, he's got phoenix ashes. He's not going to be rising again in the free world, but he's going to have to hit rock bottom behind bars. Evolving essence. Naivete softens, wisdom blooms. He needs to wise up. And his ego is going to be destroyed. That's what's going to be under the continued pressure in prison. And that's right where he needs to be. Protection from all negativity. Sacred gratitude, prayer, and faith. I think a lot of people have been praying, seriously, that kind of evil not be able to hurt others. Protection from negativity, prayer, and faith, and guarded from the unready. Protected or guarded. That even the language speaks of like society protected, he's got prison guards. So I'm going to leave it there. I think he's going to um, get a longer sentence, whatever that might be. I think the judge wants to set an example and be clear about why, that it's not out of pettiness, that it's out of the severity of the crimes at hand. If you appreciate readings like this, please do give me a thumbs up. Thank you.